Hey guys, I'm back. Alright, so this is directly where I was from last time, outside of that terrible, terrible mistake that happened at the end of the last episode, which, if you saw it, you already know what I'm talking about. If you don't, and you're completely new to this, then welcome. I realized way too late in that last episode that there was an item hidden in this room. And it's this. Sadly, I only realized it was there after I was set up to get the jump scare and the game over screen. But this time we're doing differently. This time we're gonna win. So, we already know what's going to happen here. So, what was it? Oh, it's not showing me how to skip it this time. I just have to skip through all of this. Stop jiggling the handle. Oh wait, that's right, you won't be able to hear this because I messed with the sound earlier. So I'm gonna have the sound around here. Hopefully you can hear everything now. And hopefully it won't be like ear splitting either. So she gets trapped. Unfortunately, I'm unable to skip this. So you open it, pole shoots out. So oh, I actually have to. There we go. And she's no longer stuck. That was actually the simplest puzzle moment ever. The other ones had at least some clicking around before I discovered what I had to do. But that one was just pretty straightforward. How's this, huh? Oh, I was about to... I was about to say... Is that one just muted? And then she came in. Azusa, are you okay? Ow. Thanks, you two. Did she stop to like hug both of them or something? It hurts a bit, but I think I'll be okay. Thank goodness. But why did the shutter come down all of a sudden? Well, these are ruins, so things are likely to collapse at any moment. We've got to be careful. You're right. For now, let's head to the linen room. Alright. So we're heading back in here. Are we finally gonna check that air conditioning unit? It won't open. Maybe it wasn't installed properly. It's no use. The hinges might be rusty. What should we do? We might be able to break it, but that's probably too dangerous. Let's search for something. What do we even search for? As far as I've seen, this room's empty. That, which, unless they decide to put a new interaction with it now. Nope. Yeah, there's nothing in here. So unless I'm missing access to like one of the rooms or something, I feel like I've explored everything. Let's see. Nothing. And nothing. So just looking at that. Yeah. Uh, so, while I'm looking for this thing. Oh wait, what's this? Piece of broken glass. Didn't realize that was an item I could collect. Maybe that'll help in some case? So, I figure I'll use this as an excuse to share a funny story. Completely unrelated to the ghost thing, but, like, I was up in Miami at one point for work, and, one of the most frustrating things to me is like when you're talking with your boss and like you're asking them a question, something like you call them up to say, hey, are you gonna need me at work today or something like that, and they talk to you for a bit and then they're just like, actually, could you talk to this one person and see what they have to say about it first? So, what had happened with me was that my boss called me up. I guess he wanted to make sure I was going into work, even though I hadn't really shown any signs of ever skipping work. But he called me up. He told me you should go in today, and I was like, okay. So because I didn't have a ride, and I was in Miami, the place I needed to go to for work was like all the way across town. I had to call one of the people who were currently on the work site and ask them for a lift, which my boss had already cleared it with them. They said they'd be like fine to give me a lift and everything. I hardly knew this person, so yeah, if it weren't awkward enough having to ask someone else for a ride, there's also the fact that I'm asking someone I don't really know. So I call them up. I'm like, hey, I need to go into work today. I'm planning to go in at like basically 8 in the morning. Can you take me there? And they're just like, nah, it's alright. You don't have to come into work today. And I was like, what? So I call my boss. I tell them what I just heard from this other person. And at this point, I'm practically face palming with the fact that I know this will either lead to an argument or this will lead to a back and forth, which, if you've never worked a job, trust me, you do not want to be in a back and forth between two people higher ranking than you, because it can get frustrating. But I call him. I'm like, yeah, this chick told me, yeah, it's fine, take the day off. And he's just like, well, call him again? He's like, call him again and see what they have to say. Tell them I had said I wanted you to go into work. And even though I had basically already said that the first time, I was like, okay. So I call up the person again. I'm like, hey, my boss, he wants me to go in today, and you're basically my only ride. He said he wants me to go in today, and he wanted me to make sure of if it's okay. Well, not to make sure if it's okay, but he wanted me to basically ask you again if I should be at the job site. And their reaction was to say, nah, it's fine. Just stay there in the room. Yeah, so I'm like, okay. And basically, the reason why this is especially annoying to me is because I know a lot of you understand that when you work a job, you usually wear some different clothes, maybe like a special uniform for when you're going into the job. The reason this is specifically annoying for me, I've said it a few times, but it's on the videos where my audio is a bit messed up. Basically, I worked repairing Walmart stores. So you'd get dressed up in this other outfit and you'd wear like a high visibility jacket over it, which I'll probably plop a picture in there in case you guys don't know what I'm talking about. But basically, you go in clothes that you know are gonna get dirty because it's really just a messy job. And like, in addition to that, when you're going into work like this, you're usually like either packing in like a bag, like certain tools you're gonna need for the day, or just carrying the tools. And I had basically gathered all the tools, got dressed, and was ready to head into work. I was sitting in the lobby for a good number of these calls, the lobby of a hotel. It was a nice looking hotel. I know there's a few of them around my hometown. It was like a La Quinta, but it looked it basically looked upscale compared to the other La Quintas. And I spent a good majority of those first two calls sitting with all those tools in my lap, basically asking everyone, well, it was like I'd call my boss, I'd say, "Am I going in?" He'd be like, "Yeah." I'd call the other person, I'd say, "Am I going in?" They'd be like, "Nah." And like, if you haven't worked before, you can understand how that could be frustrating. Wait, well, if you've worked before, you can understand how that could be frustrating, I should say. Having one boss that's certain of what you're supposed to do, and having someone else who's essentially a boss of another group who's uncertain but is fully willing to say, "Stay home today." uh, but yeah. And the whole reason I brought all this stuff up is because recently a friend of mine got a promotion. And he just recently went through the same sort of a struggle. Where he was basically asking people, "Do I go in?" And some of them are like, "I don't know." "Talk to someone else." And then he calls that other person, and they're like, "I don't know. Did you talk to this other guy?" And they basically just kept sending him back and forth. And I unfortunately have had to deal with that a few times, which it bothers me every time. Like, I know in a lot of cases it's like beyond people's controls. It's beyond people's control, I should say. But it's still kind of annoying. uh, like every time something like that happens, where I'm stuck between like two people, and I keep saying like, "Go ask this person," and the other person's like, "No, go ask the first guy." I'm just stuck sitting there like, what am I supposed to do? I can't I can't really get to my job unless one of you answers me, and neither one of you seems particularly willing to answer. But yeah, that is something I have experienced. And honestly, I'd hate to experience it again. uh, but I've chatted you guys' ears off for long enough. So let's see now. Hmm. I've looked in every room. I've looked at basically everything I could find. Where is it that I am missing something? Hmm. Let's... A lot more wandering in this episode. uh, Maybe people will like that. Or maybe people will just like my story and my odd commentary. Oh, I found something. Lubricating oil. Oh, I get a cutscene for that. If we can just attach this straw. I did it! You're amazing, Officer Sean. I'm impressed. Let's give it a try. You found the spray oil. Well, since Azusa did it, I'll play as her for a bit. Oh god, I felt a little bit of lag there. How'd you like some oil? It opened. Whoa, it's pitch black out there. Mio, will you keep an eye on the door? Got it. It's so hard to see. Mio, are you alright? Don't fall. I'm fine. Don't jinx me like that. Sorry. Oh? It seems like the doorknob and the handrail are tied together by a plastic cord. Is that a plastic cord? This is probably why it won't open. And then, if we cut that cord, it means we'll be able to get out. That's right. First we have to search for something to cut the cord. And I still have the pair of scissors. Or is it going to be picky and be like you have to use something else? The plastic cord snapped.